growth. So I just want to give this as a gift to you guys because I know how, important it is to have a good sexual encounter, right?
Yes.
Right. So I'm with my longtime girl, Carolyn, so she can confirm that I'm not, bullshitting anything or anything like that. I know this comment section is going to be real nice with this couch, but let's get started. So, first things first, steroids don't shrink your dick. They shrink your balls. I don't know how many of your friends have asked.
So many.
So,
Like every friend that I have told that you have used steroids or that even that you're a bodybuilder, they're just like, "Oh, does his dick shrink?" Like that no, it doesn't.
so steroids increase RBC count, red blood cell count, and they increase blood flow, right? So what happens when you get a boner? Like I don't really know where that myth comes from, but yeah, it's the complete opposite, all right? Steroids shrink your testicles from hypogonadism, right? So as the rich as the great Rich Piana would say, that only makes your dick look bigger, you know? And if you don't want your balls to shrink, you can utilize HCG, HMG, clomiphene, and clomiphene and keep your balls a normal size. Nowhere does your dick just, magically shrink. Now your legs might get bigger, which makes your dick look smaller than some fucking stick figure dude. But other than that, it's going to do the complete opposite of what the myths is. And then the next thing I wanted to go into is tight underwear. So all these Gymshark dudes on Instagram, if you're constricting blood flow to your penis, do you think that's a good idea? So by wearing tight underwear all the time to apparently make your package look bigger is actually, in my opinion, going to make it look smaller over time. I would definitely recommend only loose underwear and never, unless you're taking pictures for some reason, never to, constantly wear this tight underwear. It's not good for PE, penis enlargement, and you want as much blood flow circulating through your dick all the time as possible. And by wearing tight underwear, that is definitely not the move. All right, guys, so let's get started. The birds and the bees, right? I don't know if your dad, had this talk with you. My dad's talk was very short and sweet, but I'm going to say it how it is for all you youngins who are watching this video. You should play with your dick a lot. You should really be able to have, your dick rage as you masturbate because you want to build up endurance. So I'm going to just in general go into endurance training. Obviously, I'm going to have timestamps on this entire video because it's going to be long. So if you already know how to endurance train, just skip ahead. But I think the most important thing, when it comes to... So I think probably the most important thing when it comes to, winning a sexual encounter with your partner is endurance, right? You want to last long,
Yeah,
obviously.
you don't want it to be one and done.
Right. So, if you're, taking out the girl and, you're like, ah, you're allowed to like come the whole time and then she makes you come in like 5 minutes or like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, it's not probably gonna last long.
No, it won't satisfy her at all.
No. So it's very important, in my opinion, to build up endurance at a young age and, get that going. Now, if you want to build porn star endurance, because this is a PED channel, this is extremes with Russo, then I would recommend getting a fleshlight and then just being able to get your endurance up to a point where you can beat your fleshlight rapidly to the most visual stimulating porn you can find. That way, when you go into a sexual encounter with your partner, it's not as stimulating, right? So you're going to have porn star level endurance. Now, obviously, the con and flip side of that is that could lead to a porn addiction. So there has to come to a point during your endurance training when you realize that just watching all this fucking porn for no reason, and that you can maintain that level of endurance with your partner. So I feel like that's critical, right? I think it's critical that you should, like, as the guy, you should be able to, let her throw it back, let her ride, like, letting her ride it as much as she wants, how she wants it, and, like, make herself orgasm, I think is, a big...
It's definitely a game changer if she can get herself off on you.
Right. So I think endurance training is the most critical over, size and everything, or would you say size is more important?
No, I would definitely say the length of the session would be more memorable than just dick size.
Right. Next thing I want to go into is multiple orgasms. So not just girls can come multiple times in a row, guys can come multiple times in a row. So how is that possible? So basically, you can do this naturally if you really practice, but a good way to, I guess, get to that level is cabergoline. So cabergoline is going to make it very easy to come multiple times. So if you're trying to impress your partner while your partner, you could fuck the shit out of them, come, and then, instantly continue fucking the shit out of them. It's definitely a very cool party trick that not a lot of guys can do. Now, the flip side of caber, it's obviously not very good on the heart, so it's like how I recommend people with Adderall, right? I think everyone should take Adderall one time to kind of see what your brain can operate at, like to get to that level and then get to that level naturally or with nootropics. I think it's the same thing with caber, right? Once you feel that you can do that off caber if you practice hard enough. All right, so that's just like the general increase your performance in the bed, right? Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So endurance, very critical. Should be able to, have your dick raging constantly, and you want to be able to control when you come, right? I feel like I said in the previously in this video, when you're about to go into a sexual encounter, right? Whoever wins the sexual encounter has more power in the connection, after it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You 100% agree?
Yes.
And you want to be on the winning end. I'm rooting for you guys, right? Not having the chick make you blow your load in 2 minutes. So that's how you do it, right? So now let's get into penis enlargement. Now let's get realistic here. I've looked in all the penis enlargement forms, and this kind of reflects my personal results as well. Do not expect over 1.8 inches of gain. It's just around 2 inches that you can add to your penis size. So if you start at 4 inches, you can only add 2 inches. You're not going to be able to start at 4 inches and then end up with 10 inches, right? So I think anyone can benefit, obviously, from doing penis enlargement, but realistically speaking, you can expect around 1.5 to 1.8 inches, just around 2 inches max. The most I've ever seen in a form was 3 inches, which I don't really agree, right? I don't think that's realistic. I think everyone else who documented on these forums was getting around, 1.5 to 2 inch gain, which is a significant gain, right? That can take you from average to above average, So that's what you can realistically expect. Now, let's go into the how do I know if my dick is big test. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's a girth and I guess a length test. I guess a length test is you take it next to a remote, and if it's, almost or just as big as the remote.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You can say that you have a big dick, I guess. Now, what I use to gauge my size, I started off not passing the toilet paper roll test. Now I passed the toilet paper roll test, and then I guess I have just done the remote thing. I don't know the other things. I hate the way, I would like to see that used as the gauge, right? I hate how people measure their dicks, because you can measure your dick at like a bazillion different ways, and I just think in general that's the way to go, and especially the length thing, right? If you have big legs, it's going to throw off the perception of the actual size of your penis. So those are two good methods to certify that your dick is big, I guess. All right, so now that I've got how to know if your dick is big out of the way, let's go into the theories about penis enlargement. So this is kind of a new discovery I've made, and I think Derek and Leo have mentioned this, but basically there seems to be a correlation with DHT and overall penile development rate. So DHT is dihydrotestosterone, which testosterone converts to estrogen and DHT, right? Now, I'm going to see if I can find the medical data showing this, but it seems that high amounts of DHT in the body during puberty, as your penis and body is developing, leads to a bigger penis, right? So theoretically, and I'm not recommending any of this, if you're going through puberty, your dick is developing currently, then if you would utilize AI, so you would block the aromatization pathway, you would block the estrogen pathway, which would lead to a higher amount of DHT, which could, cause, more penile development. So there's that. I'm going to see if I can find the study to link to you guys below in the pinned comment, as well as the description. But yeah, just keep that in mind as far as penis development goes, is that it seems to, with all the data, show that high amounts of DHT lead to better penile growth during puberty, right? During the time which it's developing. So keep that in mind. Next thing I wanted to go into, as far as now we're getting into the nitty gritty of like how to go about making your penis longer and thicker. So in my opinion, what I would start out with is what's called jelqing. So jelqing is very popular among, the penis enlargement forums, as well as, just in general. So jelqing is when you would get your penis semi-hard, right? And then you would grab the base, stretch it downward, so you could do this in the shower, and then you would flex your dick as hard as you could. Now, a lot of people say jelqing doesn't work. I think those people saying jelqing doesn't work come. Don't come, right? Do not come. This is a penis enlargement thing. This is not you beating your dick in the shower and coming. This is something that you're going to have to do over the course of 2 to 5 years to get the full benefits out of it. In my opinion, my biggest tip with jelqing is do not come. I don't think it works if you come, but if you sit there and jelq every single day, you will notice permanent size gains, and the best thing about it is it's completely free. The next thing I wanted to go into is penis pumps. So Bathmate seems to be the most popular penis pump nowadays. Now, for those who don't know, Bathmate is a shitty company that ripped off the original inventors of the penis pump, which I think the original inventors is called LA Pump, if I believe. But basically, what do I think about Bathmate, right? I see a lot of people doing affiliate marketing with Bathmate, and in my opinion, I'm not making this video to make money. I'm just making this video to help all you guys out as a thank you for hitting 30,000 subs. So I don't think Bathmate is really going to do much besides improve erection quality, as well as increase flaccid penis size. So Bathmate, or water pumping, is where you would use a pump and then it would stretch the penis out, which in turn would, cause more blood flow to the area, increase penis quality or penis erection quality, and increase flaccid size. I don't really correlate that much with, permanent gains or semi-permanent gains, right? All these methods you have to maintain over 5 years, right? You will regress if you stop with all your penis enlargement protocols. Just an FYI. So Penis pumps, yes, they work for increasing erection quality and flaccid penis size. I don't think it's the best way to get permanent growth out of it, in my personal opinion. I would definitely go with something like a penis weight. So my biggest recommendation is a penis weight. So I have a cheap one from China right here, and I've attached, more weights over time, but this is a real cheap one, costs $15, and it does the job. So the penis weight, you're gonna have to wear it around 2 to 4 hours a day. In my opinion, I've seen people in the forums do it up to like 10 hours. But basically, the whole point of the penis weight is you're stretching the fascia at the base of the penis, causing micro tears, and then those micro tears heal. Penis gets a little bit longer, and then you repeat the process, right? So this is micro tearing, healing over the course of a couple years will lead to more growth, as well as just in general, stretching out the fascia will lead to more growth as well. So penis weights, in my opinion, are probably, what I saw the most gains from. I definitely saw a lot of gains from jelqing. I did jelqing all through puberty, and found it very effective as far as increasing girth, because I'm constantly flexing my dick while I'm jelqing, right? The whole point of jelqing is to, get that constant flex and then do the pulling yourself. But the penis weight, I really, really noticed a difference after around, 5-6 months of using it in a row. And I definitely have not regressed after I've been able to maintain it with jelqing. I personally haven't been wearing it that much recently, but I've been able to maintain it with jelqing. So the gains are pretty good from the penis weight, and you can get a super cheap one. Now, if you want to go super expensive, you can get a penis extender. I'll put up a picture of one right now, but this is like this massive contraption that keeps your dick perfectly stretched all day. Now, it pretty much does the same thing as a penis weight, except you can control the amount much better than just adding weights to that. You can control the amount of stretching going on to like a very specific amount, and that could help. It really mainly helps, in my opinion, if you have a curved dick. So if you have a curved dick and you want a straight dick, if you buy the penis extension device, it will eventually over time help, fix the curve in the dick if that really bothers you. So there's that. Remember, so the main methods, right, in my opinion, what I saw the most results from was the penis weight / jelqing. Remember, you're causing micro tears in your penis. You do not want to you don't want to add like a 40-pound dumbbell to that penis weight thinking that you're going to get more gains from that, right? The whole thing is just to cause that little bit of stretch, that little bit of micro tears, right? If you do these extreme amounts of weight, I've seen some insane shit in the forums of people adding like 50-pound weights and stuff, and just everyone does extreme things, but I just don't think you need that much. I think you just need enough to cause that slight feeling of stretching and that slight micro tearing, and then you have to remember that over time it's the healing of the fascia, right? So that is my opinion. Now I'm going to go into compounds that increase penis size. So the best penis enlargement girth, instant girth, in my opinion, will come from MK677, right? MK677 causes what's called water retention, more specifically edema, right? So edema occurs. So would you say it's noticeable?
Yeah, I would say it's a noticeable difference when you're cycling MK.
So yeah, MK677 is going to cause edema, right? And that is going... So MK677 is going to cause edema. The edema is going to occur all over your body, including your penis. So there's going to be lymphatic fluid trapped in your penis, which is going to cause way more girth, right? So this is a party trick. This is if you're trying to wow your partner one time. Obviously, when you cut out MK677, that edema is going to go away. but you can use that as a party trick if you're trying to wow a partner for the first time. You can, confirm that there is a difference between when I add and drop 677.
Yeah, I think there's a noticeable difference.
With girth.
Yes.
So that's instant party trick, and if you want 677, obviously go on my Instagram at Russo Lifts. There's the fucking plug. Follow me on Instagram because YouTube censors all my information videos. So appreciate that. So MK677 also, and anything in the GH pathway, in my opinion, is going to increase penis size over time. So just going into my results, right? I did not pass the toilet paper roll test when I first started my penis enlargement journey. And I was around a little bit above average, I would say. And then I've added around 1.7, 1.6 inches realistically, right? I'm not rounding up or any bullshit over, the course of my PE journey, which I've really got serious with it around 3-4 years ago. So I wasn't super serious other than joking in high school, right? I wasn't doing anything with penis weights or anything like crazy like that. But the thing you have to remember with me, right, I think I saw a bit more permanent gains because I went from 150 pounds all the way up to 260 pounds utilizing shit in the GH pathway, right? So when you utilize shit in the GH pathway, what are you doing? You're increasing IGF-1 count, so that is going to grow everything. So as you increase in size, everything will increase a bit in size relative, right? So have to remember that. I think GH over time, if you would gain new hyperplasia, new permanent cells over time, you could see a very permanent gain as far as that. And then there's obviously the instant girth of having the water retention from anything in the GH pathway. But MK677 seems to be the best with causing that edema / party trick. Now, another way to increase girth and another method is, I don't remember the exact scientific term for it, but basically it would be to flex your dick and then break down the blood vessels, and then that would create more blood vessels, which in turn would create more blood flow. So over time, that is how girth occurs, right? That is why you need to constantly be endurance training and girth training, right? It doesn't happen overnight. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about is obviously temporary erection size increases. So vasodilators, right? You can get as cheap and simple as L-arginine all the way up to full-blown Cialis. So Cialis, in my opinion, if you're going to use an RX drug, is the best when it comes to erection quality and increasing erection size. Now, with Cialis, you can get erections that you can never achieve naturally, right? So you have to be careful as far as sensitivity goes. So you don't want to use Cialis multiple times in a row. Definitely want to cycle on, cycle off it. There's L-arginine, which you can get at any single supermarket nowadays in the United States, which is going to increase vasodilation, the expanding of the blood vessels, which causes more blood flow. And then if you want to go more hardcore and you want to stay natural away from RX medications, you can get Gorilla Mind Nitric and take that pre-sex, and you notice a difference when I take that pre-sex, right? So that works. All those are temporary, right? That is just increasing blood flow, so you're going to get a more higher quality erection during your session, right? It's not really causing permanent increases, similar to how the penis pump works. So if you did the penis pump and you did vasodilators right before sex, you would have a much more intense erection than if you didn't. The last thing I want to talk about is penis rings and clamping. So I'm not a fan of clamping. People have done clamping in penis enlargement forms. That's like when you completely clamp the tip of your dick or the base of your dick and trap blood flow in it, and
so
that's
painful.
supposed to overall increase girth and length over time. You're just trapping blood flow in it. Yeah, it can cause discoloration of the penis. It turns the penis dark. I've seen the penis
Permanently?
Yeah, I've seen the penis black and blue. So I'm not a fan of clamping. I don't think clamping works. All the forums I followed with the people logging it, I didn't really think it works. So there's also penis rings, right? Penis rings trap the blood similar, but to a much lesser degree than clamping. So this is going to increase erection sensitivity. So this is another endurance method, right? So if you put this penis ring on, it's going to be a lot harder to last. So if you would masturbate with this penis ring on and constantly flex your dick, you're obviously going to get girth gains off of that. And then once you take the penis ring off and then go with your partner, you're less sensitive, you can last longer, you can control when you come, you can control the entire sexual encounter and give multiple orgasms versus, you know, the person making you come in 2 minutes, which we don't want. So that's basically everything I have. Did I?
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything.
See, that's basically everything I have, right? I think just in general, a good method of attack, my personal opinion would be to start with jelking, Google jelking, get used to jelking, see the gains you can get out of jelking, then buy a penis weight, do that over time, utilize something in the GH pathway to recover the micro tears of the fascia faster, as well as overall increase IGF-1, and then you can utilize those two methods, in my opinion, will cause the most permanent gains. Now, obviously, if you don't keep up on it, then you will regress, right? You will go backwards. Will you go all the way back to where you started? Probably not. But just remember that you have to keep up with all these methods if you want to continue the permanent 2 inches of gain. And then, obviously, when it comes to girth, I think the best thing is just to constantly flex your dick, break the blood vessels in your dick from flexing it and raging it so hard, which is going to cause the creation of new blood vessels in your dick, which in turn will increase more blood flow, make the penis thicker over time. That needs to be, done over the course of a couple years to really get the girth gains to pass the toilet paper roll test. So yeah, in my opinion, don't go crazy. I think starting with just simple jelking, you will see a benefit. And then if you want to go the penis weights, the penis extender, then you can go that route. I think obviously having something in the GH pathway is going to help a lot with penis enlargement in general. And then obviously if you want to improve erection quality, you can use penis rings. You can use a penis pump and pump your penis right before sex. Or you could utilize vasodilators, right? Or yohimbine or PT141. There's tons of compounds you can use, but overall, I think jelking and penis weights are what I personally saw the most gains from. And I went from slightly above average to above average. And then I went from not passing the toilet paper roll test to passing the toilet paper roll test over the course of around 4-ish years. So be consistent with it for a long period of time and you will see the gains. Do not expect to see much after like 1-2 months, right? This is a long process. This is something that you need to keep up on and something that you need to constantly battle, just like building muscle, right? You don't build a shit ton of muscle in 2 months, right? It takes years of compounding to, accumulate lean tissue. So hope everyone is doing well, and I hope this video is a gift to you guys. I want to see you guys slaying it in bed, and I will see you guys in my next one. I really want to thank Carolyn for the eye candy, and I will see you guys in my next video.